Hi
Hello.
everyone. Today I'm going to speak about some TensorFlow. What is TensorFlow and why do we use TensorFlow? Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Yugarajan, are you talking? We can see your screen, but we cannot hear you.
Nancy or Justin over there, can you update us what's happening?
Yeah, check. 1 second. Now you can talk. I'll do the screen share. You talk. Share system. You talk. You talk. You cannot share. You send this file. I'll share. Share.
Sorry for delay.
So hold on. Yeah, hold on for a second.
Yes.
So when he opened the sheet, sharing the sheet here, he's not able to do audio. It's going unmute. Mute. I'll share the screen and he'll walk through from my screen.
Okay.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Thank you.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Nancy will share the screen. From that we can start. TensorFlow is just a open source library that can use to build machine learning and deep learning like models. TensorFlow is developed by Google. So Google has a team called Brain Team for their internal research. They started TensorFlow in 2015. So TensorFlow is basically from Google's company. So what we can achieve from TensorFlow? We can use TensorFlow to automations, data automation, model tracking, performance monitoring, and model training. Through TensorFlow, we can train large number of models using uh, its frame. The using the TensorFlow framework. So who uses a TensorFlow? Mainly Google uses its TensorFlow to implement its ML in Gmail, and hit search pads and everything. So when we talk about TensorFlow, like we can say that uh, it has like grown a lot much than when it launched. So right now it was the most used framework to write ML models and build ML models. So next, so Keras. So Keras is a also a open source neural network library that is written in Python. So it is it we can use Keras as a base for our TensorFlow. So it Keras provide a high level interface for building the deep learning models. So it can run through like we can use Keras in TensorFlow and like Microsoft products, and there's another product called Theano also. We can use Keras on that. So next slide. So where we can like what is Collab? So Collab is like Jupyter notebook that is in hosted through Jupyter notebooks. So Colab is basically used for TensorFlows, to run machine learning codes, machine model, create models, train models, and everything. So it we can use Colab and Jupyter notebooks also to write our models and train our models. Next slide. So this is what we do in machine learning life cycle. So when we want to build a machine learning build a model or train a model, so we have to go through these steps. So what are these steps? We have to gather the data before we train a model or start to build a model. So before we have to start gathering data, and we need to explore the data. So exploring means we have to check whether the data is in a correct format, or what are the types of data we can collect more, like in the like same type of data in more different places. So then we have to prepare the data. So what we do in preparing, so we have to clean the data from uh, clean the data, and null values. We have to like clear all the invalid columns, invalid data available in this data. So after that we need to build the model. So for building the model, we used TensorFlow, and we write codes on using TensorFlow to build, train, and evaluate the model. Then what happens? We do tune and hyperparameters. So what is tuning and hyperparameters? So once we build a model, we need to check that if the model is running correctly or not. So if the model is running correctly, we need to let it train, it will train itself. So once we give a large number of datas, it also runs and it sees what are the datas we are having on that. So based on its outcomes and its outcomes, it trains itself. So we need to provide some parameters, that a set of parameters to set that this is a model's uh, these are the values we have to set on it. So based on that, we can automatically train our models, and it will gather information based on its data provided in uh, the model. So after that, this process completes, we have to deploy the model. So where there comes there is a concept called MLOPS. So we can see somewhere next time for that. So next slide. Next slide. Okay. No, previous one. So for alternate, we have an alternate for TensorFlow. So PyTorch is the alternate for TensorFlow. So we can use PyTorch. It's same as it is written in Python, and It is also a ML framework. So next, so which is the most used framework? So we can see that the most used framework is TensorFlow. So in his repository also there are a lot of like usages are there in TensorFlow. So why do people prefer most like TensorFlow more than PyTorch? Next. So TensorFlow offers a better visualization. So it's model training, and it's better to debug and track the training process. However, we can say PyTorch is also a good framework, but it have some limitations on it. So people prefer TensorFlow more than like PyTorch. So we know we use nowadays we use a large number of AI tools, like AI products, like we have Alexa, uh, and we have voice command, like what say we, in Google we have Google Assistants. So for that we can say we can code we can make a ML model in microcontrollers. So like in Raspberry Pi and Arduino, we can build our model and deploy in that microcontrollers. So for that we have to use TensorFlow Lite. So TensorFlow Lite is the subproduct of TensorFlow. So based on that we can build our ML models to deploy in these type of Arduinos or like microcontrollers. So next. Next. அவ்வளவுதானா? Last. Okay. So so I wanted to show some like how to use the collab, like a Jupyter notebook and collab. So right now my screen, I'm not able to share my screen, so I'm not able to show how to use Jupyter notebook and collab in my. So any questions?